and welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. I am Eric Miskell with EMS Now. Today, it's my pleasure to speak with Mr. Holger Wußmann. He is the Managing Director of Kontron Electronics. This is a good opportunity to get to know Kontron and Kontron's position and expanding position within the EMS industry. So Holger, welcome. Thank you for taking time to speak with me today and to share more about your company.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me with you.
Absolutely. Let's begin by introducing Kontron Group, the larger entity, maybe explaining who they are for people's benefit.
Yes. Yeah, the Kontron Group is in the meantime a really big group with around 1.9 billion revenues and around 60 companies, we can say all over the world, in Asia, in America, and in Europe.
Okay.
And the biggest footprint, of course, is in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That is a place where the roots of Kontron are. And Kontron Electronics, the company I work for, is one company in the group, and we came to Kontron in 2018. And we were the company which brought the EMS business into the group. Before 2018, there was no EMS business in Kontron. And we and another company in Austria and one in Switzerland, we three came as a package to Kontron. And we brought in the luggage the EMS business to Kontron, and then in the first step we founded this Kontron ODM EMS Alliance, and there was the company Iskratel in Slovenia, and a long-term partner we bought in Hungary, that is Kontron Electronics Hungary in the meantime. So we had a nice belt from Germany over Austria, Slovenia to Hungary, where we did EMS business before the Katek deal.
Yeah.
And then Hannes Niederhauser, our CEO, made the decision to buy or to take a majority of Katek at the beginning of this year. And since then, the group is still has grown. And we have more production sites, a lot more production sites. So the history of Katek, I think, is EMS. Yeah. Besides that, they have the green tech, for example, like frequency converters for solar, or the wall boxes for e-mobility. Yeah. But they have, of course, a lot of production sites in Europe and in America.
Yeah, and that's good, because everybody, I think, in the EMS world learned more about Kontron once they did the acquisition of Katek last year. That was, you kind of surprised some people. So this was the strategy was to increase the business in EMS as well as acquiring these other technologies.
Yeah, I think there were several arguments to do this deal. One was, I think, a question of size, to get better conditions on the material side, for example. Mm-hmm. Then it was to go into this green technology that is interesting for us, to have more vertical markets we can serve, especially in environmentally green technologies. And and the next thing is the EMS business, of course, that we are now more complete with Bflex. We have a dedicated prototyping company, and with Katek, Grassau, for example, we have a production site for really big quantities. Mm-hmm. For white goods, for example, what we didn't have before.
Okay. And talk about what's the existing footprint now within the EMS division that you oversee. Is that how many facilities, how many people, and it is global, so, or it's primarily European still? the footprint.
No, the footprint, and I think that is an important thing, especially for bigger customers. After this material crisis, they have an eye on the local markets and the supply chains, and they ask us, are you in the main markets? Are you able to produce in America? Are you able to produce in Asia and in Europe? And I think that makes us complete, that we are able to do so, because together with Katek, we have production sites mainly in Europe, some in America, and with other partners as well in Asia.
Right. And speak to that. We talked about that a little bit before. You have the focus is more on lower volume, high mix within the main group, but for higher volume, lower mix, you have another partner that you can outsource to in Asia.
Yes, that depends, of course, on the quantities, and for the really big quantities, we are able to go to Asia. It's one of our stakeholders, the company Enocon, and with them we can do really big quantities, as far as Katek, for example, would be too small for that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And so just out of curiosity, Kontron is this larger company. So how much of the work that you do within the EMS is to support those companies? Are you doing internal builds for other Kontron companies?
Yes, that is. It's not so easy to have an overview over all the businesses which happen, but it's our goal to do cross-selling and to serve each other. So we try to strengthen our position with all the spectrum we have available, and so it's quite normal to do business or in the intercompany environment. We do that.
Okay. And are you also able to leverage the capabilities of the other companies for the benefit of EMS clients? Can you?
Yeah, if we win a new customer, we have a look on his products, and then we can see which location is the best from the machinery park. Of course, we have similar machines, but every location has some specialties from the history, and that makes them the best location for this customer. And then we give the advice. We would propose to go into this location, and then we have to see. Some customers want to stay in Germany. Okay, then we only can select out of German production sites. Otherwise, we can go where we want, and then we try to find the best solution for him and his products.
Okay, that makes sense. And as far as the main industry sectors that you're manufacturing in, are there any that you do not manufacture?
Yeah,
Might be the best way to ask it.
Yeah, that is the best question, because we have a new slogan: Kontron is everywhere, and everywhere connected and everywhere secure. And we are really everywhere. And so I don't know what we don't do, because we serve automobile, not overall, but in special sectors. We do, of course, historically medical industry in all the, let me say, normal industry, like automation, machinery, and so on, building automation, whatever. And we do avionics, especially in the USA. We do defense in France. So there's nearly no sector we don't serve.
Okay. Excellent. So then, with such a varied company, in your opinion, what's your differentiator? What is it that makes you unique, or what do you do best?
Do you know unique EMS companies? I think
good point. Yeah.
The business is easy to compare from company to company. What makes us special? I think one thing is that we have 3 pillars where we live on. That is the classical EMS, that is the ODM, and it is in-house products. So the combination of those three things is very helpful for the customer, and he can select what he wants out of this toolbox, let me say.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can use our in-house products as a building block for an ODM development. We can do the production for what we develop for him, but we can do it as well for products he has developed by his own or from a third company. So we feel that we can help him whatever he needs.
Okay.
And due to the fact that we are those 60 companies, we are not big size companies. Most of the companies are small and medium enterprises. So we are near to the customer. The customer knows the developers. He knows all the people who are important for him, the quality management, up to myself. So if he has an issue, he can call me and he can reach me, and he doesn't have to take a ticket or and to wait 2 or 3 weeks until we give an answer. So I think that is we are agile, we are active, we are reactive, and we are near to the customers.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting as I hear you telling that, I think of it, it seems like it's the classic German Mittelstand kind of
Yeah.
type philosophy that still proliferates, right? That
Yeah.
that size and serving completely and expertly within those areas.
Yeah, and that are our roots, that is our history, our expertise, and our attitude. We are German Mittelstand.
Yeah. Good. But 60 of them.
Yes.
So that's, and it sounds from what I get from your comments is that this is still being worked out, right? This isn't set in stone the way the structure is or how the relations between the various divisions are, that is still somewhat fluid.
Yeah, of course it's changing due to the fact that companies are coming to us. So the network of companies is changing. You have to learn about new companies, new colleagues, and what they serve, and to find the way of cooperation and how to increase the value for the customer. And yeah, that makes us happy, and that keeps our life colorful.
Yeah, no doubt. It keeps you busy. Listen, I
Yeah.
also wanted to ask you about some of, the EMS industry specifically. It has faced many challenges and it's throughout its history, I guess. But, in the last few years, I guess the most common have been the materials challenges. I think we
Yeah.
went shortages to overhang, and then there's continuing labor availability, workforce challenges. I mean, how are those impacting your businesses?
As every other company in the same way. So everything began, and we told the customers you have to order, otherwise you won't get material, and nobody wouldn't believe. And then it came as we said. Then we had this long delivery times of 52 weeks and no confirmation when we ordered the material. We were not able to confirm our orders to the customer. And yeah, everything we had to buy at the broker market. We had really increased costs for the customer. Sometimes we had to buy parts 100 times more expensive than in normal times. So that was really hard. And yeah, even to this price increase, we had an explosion in orders and even in delivery and revenue, of course. We had 2 very, very good years in 22 and 23 with 2-digit growth rates. But we had 2-digit growth rates in the stock level, of course. And yeah, we are working on that to bring that back again. It is back again. It's nearly to normal now. Yeah, but now we have the other extreme. Now we are missing the orders, and we don't have the comfort we had in the last 2 or 3 years, that we had completely booked the full year. So that is going down, the order level, but it's still okay, and we think that in 2025 that will normalize and the market will come back.
Good. What about workforce, the labor force challenges? Or is that continue, or with such a large group of companies, is there some intercompany transferring or possible as well?
Yeah, we do on the development side, for example, we do projects together, and we are looking if we have a lack of people, then we look into the other companies and try to solve it. At the moment, we are founding in Macedonia a group of software people for the embedded things we have, and worked then together with them when we establish all the knowledge they need.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I think since 12 months, the situation isn't as bad as it was the last 2 or 3 years. So that means there are going companies into solvency, or they reduce their people, and they are on the market now. So it's easier to find people.
Okay. Oh, that's good to hear. That's so um as far as some of the big trends that are impacting industry kind of globally, one that always comes up is reshoring, right? And business coming back from Asia primarily. Are
Yeah.
you experiencing that within your business as well?
Yes, that is. I wouldn't say that is 100%, but it's a lot of companies or customers who talk to us about this issue, and they bring business back, perhaps not the complete business, but parts of the business. Others stay in Asia, of course, but reshoring is something what is happening. That
Yeah.
is pretty clear. In combination with this, especially with the really big companies, this local footprint in Europe, Asia, and America, what the companies want to have.
Yeah, you having the flexibility and being able to
Yeah.
distribute that for particular companies. Within another issue is that of sustainability. You have the green tech piece, obviously, but that's increasingly, especially in Europe and now globally, more of a metric that people are reporting on and that businesses are being managed to. How is that within Kontron?
I think at least there are two aspects. So one aspect is, how do we want to change our business, for example, with this e-vehicle or solar business we bought with Katek. That is one thing. The other thing is the regulatory side, that we have to report ESG, that the customers ask what is with conflict materials and this and that. So there's a lot of work to do we hadn't to do in the past, and we have to establish all the systems and the knowledge and the data to fulfill all the requirements the customers have from the regulation side.
Okay. Now, the other issue I wanted to ask, and I guess it's somewhat related, software and hardware are critical for the running of a business.
Yes.
Obviously, in combination and having that. First of all, within all these companies, is there some standardized platforms from the software side that you use to manage the businesses, or is it unique within EMS?
Do you mean the software we use in the company or in the products?
In the company.
In the
to manage
company.
the processes.
Yeah. Most of the companies use SAP, but not all. We don't. We are, as a smaller company, we still have our old ERP system.
Okay.
But we report into one tool to the holding. So all the numbers for the Kontron AG come together in one system, of course. But the processes are not the same over the production size, because we think there comes a new company to the Kontron Group and we buy it because it was successful in the past, and we don't think that it is a good idea to take the Kontron processes and put it over the new company. So we leave the companies as they are, as successful as they are, and then we look in the future how to bring that together on a smooth way.
Okay, that makes sense. That's actually, yeah, you want to maintain the uniqueness and the success of the companies you
Yes.
acquire, not inhibit them in any way.
Yeah.
So, how does AI play into this? AI is a buzz term in everything these days, right?
Yeah.
And we have to be careful with it, I know, but do you see it as being a benefit to your business?
Yeah, I think it's a benefit, or it will be a part of every business in the future. So there are standard procedures, for example, like to work on invoices or order intake that are very standardizable processes, what you can do based on AI. But I think you will never exchange the people who talk to other people by AI. So the personal relationship is something that hopefully will stay in the future, because that is important for our long-term relationships. We have customers for 20, 25, 30 years already, and we go from generation to generation with the people and the products, of course. And I think that is human work to work on these relationships.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good to hear that. I've heard that more frequently from other EMS when I speak to them about that importance of their people, right? And
Yeah,
how that really is the differentiating factor in some cases is their experience, their knowledge, and what they can bring uh,
yeah,
to the programs. And I think that's always good to hear because people think of these lights out factories and where nobody will be there, right? And the machines will just run by themselves, but be controlled from far away, right? And so it's always good to hear the importance of the people, stressed by companies like yours.
yeah.
Good. And as far as you mentioned customers there, long-term customers, how have customers reacted or responded to the acquisition of Katek and to the growth within and the capabilities that now are available to them?
I think that depends on the customer. Smaller customers say, okay, are we still the right customers for you? You're so big now. So I say, okay, the group is big, but we are still a small and middle-sized company. So yes, you are still right, because we as Kontron Electronics, for example, we didn't change our behavior, we didn't change our customer spectrum, nothing. So that was one question. The other question was, what are the benefits of the deal? How can we participate? And that is, of course, that we have more production location, that we can do this local for local business in America, Asia, and in Europe. And that we have this bigger spectrum of services we can offer.
Excellent, excellent. So looking forward, I mean, we're into fourth quarter of I don't know what your fiscal quarter is like, but calendar quarter, fourth quarter already for 2024. So looking for the end of the year and into 2025, how do you view the EMS industry and its future here over the next period?
Yeah, I speak personally from my view, not for the
Yeah.
big view of the big Kontron Group. What I see is that we of course we see that we have a lower order intake than the last 2 and 3 years. We talk to our customers, and what is not so nice is that there is nobody with really good news. So everybody is waiting for coming back of the market, and that's it. We will go with normalized numbers into the next year, and we will have to see when the growth will come back.
Yeah. What do you expect to be the growth drivers? Just having to kind of replacement is market because everything they haven't ordered in a while now, their stocks will be down, and or is there also new business that you see coming?
Yeah, one big thing I think is the regulatory side from the data security, the system security, like NIS2, if you know this. And that yeah, brings a pressure on our customers when they have an installed base of machines, for example, all over the world or all over Europe mainly, and they have to look therefore that the communication will be really safe over the rest of the life cycle of the machines. And there, I think we will see more and more demand, and the 5G is coming more and more campus networks and yeah, devices to work in a 5G network. I think that will be a growth driver. And of course, all things around yeah, green technology, sustainability, energy saving, all those topics will bring business, I think.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think that's a general opinion in the industry is it's been a hard 2024, but people are hopeful that 2025 sees some turnaround. It won't jump like it had before, but maybe back to some normalcy, as you indicate, and that would be good for the industry.
Yes, I think that the coming back will go smooth and slowly.
Yeah.
There will be no jump up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy when it did it before a couple years ago.
Yes. We don't need it again.
No, and that isn't normal for the industry
Yeah.
either, right? So that is that. Well, listen, I wanted to thank you for your time today, for sharing information, allowing us to learn more about Kontron Electronics and the overall Kontron Group, which is greatly appreciated. I know, speaking for myself, I knew Katek, I didn't really know Kontron, so I got to do a little homework and learn a little more, and this has certainly helped to that extent. And as we were saying before the interview started, I hope to meet you at Electronica next month and have a chance to continue the conversation into the future.
Yes, you're invited to visit us at our booth.
Very good. I will take you up on that, and
Yeah.
and I wish you success with the company as it rolls forward, and hope to speak to you again in the future, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.